Well, I'm not going to dwell on it, but one of the things that strikes me about that story being down to your last dollar in Las Vegas said you leaned back on the bed and prayed. Now, I know, John, that you came from a religious family. Your father was a
Non-denominational Bible banger. That's what I call him.
right.
You know, fire and brimstone style preacher. Yeah. So my dad, I think he's been to 32 Mardi Gras in the past 40 years or something like that. Stands on the street corner and preaches at Mardi Gras. Stands on the corner.
Not partying, but he's there to save
He's
lives.
down there doing that's the style of preacher he is, and actually has a prison ministry in Nashville now. So that's the way I grew up. So Kenny and I have that in common. You know, his parents are very strong Christian people, and grew up in church and grew up around knowing why you have what you have, or knowing where your abilities come from, knowing that you're supposed to try to accomplish something bigger than yourself. You know, that's something we both grew up with. Work ethic.
Right.
You know, hey, God will give you a few things, but you got to go work, man. I mean, nothing. You
That's
don't.
it.
He ain't just gonna give something to you. You know, he'll put it in your mind to go do it, and then you got to go do it.
What interests me is that by no means all, but a lot of people who, one, go into the career path that the two of you have, performing, singing, songwriting, reach the big time, get big success. They wander away from their religion early on. Now, reporters are taught, be careful about talking about politics or religion.
Right.
But I'm interested, that didn't happen with either of you. And why do you think that is, John?
Well, I mean, for me, it's a constant conversation going on, you know, between the Lord and myself, you know. And the more I think the more you are given. For instance, I look at my kids and go, I was given a gift of two sons. What a thing, you know. And then you have this career over here, and all this stuff going on. And the more you have to lose. So you constantly, to me, the conversation gets more and more intense every year that goes by, because there is more and more things that I deeply care about, that I'm asking him to take care of. You know, don't let anything happen to my kids. Don't let anything happen to my family. You know, and I think if people wander away from that, that's a big mistake. Because at the end of the day, he's got all the controls anyway, and he gave you the ability to do what you're doing, and he puts it in your mind that that's the road you're supposed to go running down, not walking down. And if you got enough nerve to follow his lead, then you might wind up in a great place.
How about you, Big Kenny?
Well, I was raised by a big-hearted man, and never been any doubt in my mind what drove him. And I think that just kind of rubs off and rubbed off on me. And I hope it rubs off on my sons also. But I feel a power inside of me that I know is greater than any of this or any other thing I could ever have in my life.
Well, one of the most successful songs you've had is That's Why I Pray.
Mm-hmm.
What's that song about?
Well, it's about all the crazy stuff in the world that goes on every time you know you get up in the morning, you pick up the remote and you go, man, I wonder what happened last night around the world. And you turn it on, you're going, oh, what was it? And then a lot of times you'll see just more chaos, more bad things that happen. And you know, the song says, that's why I pray, because all these things that are going on, that's really, at the end of the day, all you're left with is that. You know, go, well, take care of them. You know, we're praying for them. And that's a real thing to us. You know, it's not just a phrase that you toss around.
When you connect with your belief system, I think it empowers you to a point that you know you're capable of doing anything that you dream of and you really want to get there. When you've got a belief system that strongly, like I know that this is a powerful human being here. If he believes something and he wants to get to the top of that mountain, he's going to go there. And I feel like that's a common denominator that we both possess that comes from, you know, a great faith and just a great, strong belief system. And I know that it's empowered me, or I would have never left Culpeper, Virginia. I would have never left the farm or what I was doing, left small town to come to a big city like Nashville and, you know, expand my life like it's been expanded. But it's all based upon just that belief that you can do it. There's always someone there with you. We wrote a song called Live This Life. And that chorus to that, I think, is as powerful as it gets. I live this life until this life won't let me live here anymore. Then I'll walk with patience through that open door. I have no fears, for angels follow me wherever I may go. I live this life until this life won't let me live here anymore.